Hello. Just having some toast before I dive into another lesson, but excuse me. Anyhow, in today's video, what I wanted to talk about was based on a question that I received from one subscriber about salary, remuneration, the difference between native and non-native English teachers. So, where to begin? I'm going to give a bit of context to this, and I've taught with colleagues who have been either native and non-native English teachers, and all of the non-native English teachers that I've had the pleasure of working with have been absolutely brilliant, excellent. I completely respect those English teachers whose English is a second language, the fact that they've had to acquire English, learn how to teach what is in some regards a second language to a variety of students, particularly those students who are studying English as a second language themselves. And they have my utmost respect, having gone through the whole process themselves as a student for that language. Now, when it comes down to online teaching, and one thing that I noticed when I was teaching online back in the UK for Chinese-based organisations for online educational purposes, they really exploited non-native English teachers, those that were professional enough to learn English, to learn how to teach it, and then teach in English, which is themselves a second language, to students from China, predominantly young learners. And I found it completely immoral and unethical when it came down to these Chinese-based organisations exploiting essentially non-native teachers and having this difference between native speaker teacher salaries, remunerations, compared to non-native teachers. Now, when it comes down to the question of I'm a native teacher and I'm a non-native teacher and I have a CELTA and I have a CELTA, should there be a difference between your hourly rate, whether you're a native or whether you're a non-native English teacher? And in my perspective, no, there shouldn't be a difference, regardless of what the general expectation is. Because if you're going to be teaching on an online platform to a variety of students from all around the world, that potential student is choosing you not because you're cheaper, but because you're more professional. So for students that are seeking an online English teacher, the native, non-native element doesn't go in. That variable doesn't exist. So I would always recommend online English teachers, regardless of their first language, and whether they have the necessary qualifications, whether they've got a CELTA or a TESOL or alike, that their salary should be equal and the same as their counterpart. It's that simple. And I find it incredibly frustrating when there's a general acceptance across the board between native and non-native English teachers and the salary ranges and that side of things, particularly having come across this with educational institutes employed, based in China, employing these freelancers, these professional English teachers and deciding their hourly rate because their first language isn't English. I find that completely immoral, unethical, and it shouldn't happen in the industry. So when you're going out by yourself and you're sourcing students to teach online, and you have all the necessary qualifications and the experience to match, and you're a non-native teacher, and you have the equal amount compared to a native teacher, then your hourly rate should reflect that. So I rarely go into this topic because it kind of annoys me and frustrates me, and apologies if I get a bit emotional about this thing, because a lot of the non-native English teachers that I've worked alongside, absolutely fantastic, incredibly professional, and well worth, in my opinion, giving the students the motivation, the example that all students should strive towards. And if you are able, as a non-native teacher, to give that enthusiasm and that set that example for students that, you know, I used to be a student and you can achieve your aims and objectives. If you can give them that motivation, that enthusiasm, that engagement, then why the hell can't, why should you get paid less? But anyway, I'm rambling. Yeah, I just saw this comment on my previous video and I thought, yeah, I've got to do something about it. And I thought, Anyway, this is going to be a short video because I want to enjoy my nice toast here and my glass of water before I dive into this lesson with a potential student. And, if you have any questions about online English teaching, or, if you want to arrange a Google Meet, become a member of this YouTube channel. It would be great to have you on board. And, one of the benefits of joining the channel, becoming a member, is that you can arrange a meeting with me, and we can discuss any questions or ideas that you have. But really appreciate the subscriber who questioned, asked that question about native, non-native, the differences and the salary and the expectations. It's a really valid point and something that is quite close to my heart when it comes down to this perceived idea that people should be remunerated based on the lottery of where they were born. It's just not even worth worrying about. But I hope this video helped, and if you've got any questions yourself and you're thinking about becoming an online English teacher, keep an eye, make sure you've subscribed to this channel, become a member. Like I said, it would be great to have you on board. I'll be running an online course in the coming months, and if you've got any questions, feel free to reach out. I'll be happy to help you. Take care, stay safe, and happy teaching. Bye bye.